right, good morning, friends. We have the distinct pleasure of testing out something today, which is to be doing both a live on Zoom and in-person Zoom experience. So we are going to be in a little bit of split mode as we are Pure, I don't see anything on my screen. Should I see myself? Okay. Maybe.
Thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah.
Work out all the technical elements.
That's us? Okay, great. So yeah, thanks for sitting with us as we're figuring all this out. Hello, everyone that's here in person, and hello, everyone that's here on screen, and excited to be figuring out this new season of what code is going to look and feel like. All that being said, welcome again to this month's code experience hosted by the Temple of Wholeness. For those of you who don't know, Temple of Wholeness is a 501c3 church organization dedicated to helping individuals and collectives experience more goodness, truth, and beauty, light, love, and life, and the deepest and most essential nature of who they are for the emancipation of goodness into their own life and of themselves into the world. So today's exploration, which is going to be so fun, is beauty as an act of divine protection. And these are two things that people don't usually think about putting together. So there's a lot of rich work that we get to do here today in exploring what beauty is and how we can activate beauty as a practice of protection in our life and just generally make our whole life more delightful and beautiful. So the flow today, like every day, is we're going to start out with a practice with Amber to help us get us in our body, in our grounded self. I will be doing a transmission, we'll be doing a prayer, and then we'll take any questions or any observations or any insights at the end, and then we'll send you out into the world for the most beautiful Sunday that you've ever had in your life. That being said, yeah. Would you like to take us away?
It would be my absolute pleasure. So wherever you find yourself, we begin by closing our eyes. And just the simple act of closing our eyes, we begin to shift our attention. Shifting away from the surfaces of things, from the externalities, and beginning to draw more of our awareness to our interior. So as you notice your attention begin to move inwards, allowing yourself to settle more deeply into the center, in and down towards the surface that is supporting you from below, in and down towards the earth. And now becoming more aware of the quality of your breath as you bring your attention inwards. Inviting that breath to begin to deepen and lengthen to its fullest extent. Really paying attention to the sensation as the breath glides into the body, feeling it like a beautiful inner caress as it fills you up, stretching you open. And at the top of that in-breath, go ahead and suspend for a few moments, just feeling that fullness, pulsing, life thrumming within you before exhaling and releasing and consciously inviting any tension that you may be holding unnecessarily to melt downwards. Actively releasing towards the earth with your in-breath. And also taking a few moments at the bottom of the in-breath to pause. This quantum pause between breaths. And here feeling this shimmering, oscillating spaciousness. And again with the next in-breath, drawing that breath in, staying close and intimate with the sensation as the breath fills you. And as you reach the top of that breath again, just pause and just notice all of the sensations at this maximum level of fullness. And again, releasing, consciously melting, softening everything back down. Noticing how much more can you give over to the embrace of gravity beckoning you to release more fully towards the earth. Now continuing to allow your breath to be deep and full, allow it to be an active meditation. With each inhale, how much more life can you allow yourself to receive? Can you allow it to move into any spaces that may be perhaps even subtly contracting away from full receptivity, from allowing the life force to penetrate every single nook and cranny of your being? And the meditation with each exhale is how much more can I release to create ever more space? A space of receptivity, ready to be filled once again with life in the next breath. And as you continue this simple breathing meditation, again, really staying close to the sensations, you're oh so present with this act of receiving the breath of life, with actively letting go of anything that impedes that breath of life from fully animating you. I invite you to begin to now engage your imagination. So beginning to visualize yourself inside of an environment that feels the most beautiful to you. This may be a natural environment, perhaps with a cascading waterfall, blossoms surrounding you, beautiful blue sky, trees. Perhaps it may be in a space like a cathedral that is intentionally built to enshrine beauty, to amplify it. And whatever this environment is, just allow it to become more vivid in your imagination, really seeing and feeling yourself inside of it. Allow the details to fill in as tangibly as possible. And now, adding the layer as you breathe. With each inhale, not only are you breathing in fresh life and vitality, but you're breathing in and actively receiving the beauty that is present. Receiving this beauty as nourishment for your body, mind, and soul. Discovering with each in-breath how much more can you drink in and allow yourself to receive. And with each exhale, that softening, the expansion as you release and open into ever more receptivity, creating even more capacity to receive even more beauty. And allow that beauty to touch you, to touch your heart, and to saturate your senses. And just for a few moments of silence, allowing ourselves to enjoy this act of meditation, of perceiving and receiving beauty, and allowing it to be amplified through us in this simple act. And with the next in-breath, receiving this breath fully. And as you receive inwards, if you're not already there, allow a saturation. this frequency of beauty to saturate through every cell of your body and to begin to emanate and exude into the space around you. With a few more breaths in this way, continuing to receive, and yet as you exhale, allow that saturation to continue to spread in all directions beyond you. Substantiating your field, helping to tune your senses to even more fully perceive the beauty that is always present, to call it forth, to beckon it by perceiving it, by focusing on it, and by appreciating it. And just a couple more breaths here as you allow that saturation of beauty to spread as far and wide beyond you as it wishes to. And if it feels true, allowing yourself to be this portal of beauty. Knowing that even as we complete this meditation and move into the transmission and practice and beyond this experience of code itself, the invitation as you move through your day is to imagine yourself as this portal of beauty that is actively looking for the beauty in every moment, to acknowledge and appreciate it, which continues to amplify its presence in your life and those around you. And continuing to stay on the inside, connected to this feeling, connected to the breath, to the act of receiving an amplification of beauty. I hand the baton over to Matt to take us deeper.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear. As always, this state that you've cultivated, stay right there. Allow that to continue to ripple through your experience and your system and your body. And I'm going to share just a few concepts, and the invitation to you is to allow them to just wash on the shore of your awareness without letting the mind grasp onto them too tightly. Beauty in its true nature is a thing that exists in a place beyond this place. It is a feature or quality that comes from someplace transcendent to here. When we participate in beauty, we too are drawing from that place that is beyond where we tend to experience our moment-to-moment, day-to-day self. So we say that beauty is transcendent to the self, goes beyond. And in its nature of going beyond, it brings with it certain qualities. Those qualities carry with them certain energies. The quality of beauty in the transcendent is big. It is eye-catching. It is certainly bringing with it a type of visibility that we use to steer towards protection. And it is bringing with it a quantity of energy that we want to use to create protection for ourselves. Now, I just want to speak for a moment about protection. There is a way in which people experience the idea of protection that is inherently in opposition to fear. That's not the type of protection I'm speaking about. The type of protection that I'm speaking about is a maximizing of thriving, so that regardless of what the environmental inputs are, thriving is the nature of what we are experiencing. And that thriving comes with it an energy that carries and buoys and protects what it is meant to be, and the context in which it is existing in. Coupled with beauty is the concept of creation. When we create, we have the choice to create something that is beautiful or not beautiful. And while we may consider that not everything needs to be beautiful in our day-to-day and moment-to-moment, you might counter that thought with, why shouldn't everything be beautiful? Why shouldn't that be the case? And some of you may already be having the experience of leaning into the old adage that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which is also exactly true. So we have this balancing act that we get to do of recognizing that creation inherently all can be beautiful, and we can perceive everything as beautiful that's already created. So if you allow yourself, there is only beauty that is already in existence, and only beauty that is yet to be in existence. And when we use those types of perhaps post-logical or translogical, transcendent types of thinking, we find these paradoxes of everything that has ever existed, if we can see it, is beautiful, and everything that will ever exist, if we can see it, is beautiful. So we want to move this into practice beyond the logical, beyond the conceptual, and into direct experience. So again, I'm going to ask you to settle. If the mind has been seeking to grasp any of that, just let it reopen, relax. Let the head and face drop all of its tension. And let the visual space of your mind go blank. Let the mind's eye perceive just a black, open void. Without quality, without tone, without texture. Completely empty canvas. But allow yourself to see that openness, that emptiness, that void. Use the seeing of your mind's eye so that it's not just conceptual, it's visual. And then very slowly notice emerging out of the darkness the most perfect flower. Everywhere you look at this flower, you are stunned by how perfect it is. Perfect in fragrance, perfect in proportion, perfect in balance, perfect in vitality, perfect in its own expression of beauty. And you recognize in this beauty, and it holds a quality as if it were the flower that all other flowers were based on. This is perfect flowerness. And as you see that, and you feel that and experience that, allow that beauty that is radiating off that flower to make its approach towards you until you can feel yourself being physically, energetically, neurologically impacted by that beauty. Such wonder, such delight, such curiosity. How did the universe make this? How has this come to be? A beauty in which we only want to pay attention. We are transfixed, and we are feeling ourself, our energy, our neurology swept up in that beauty. And as you feel that energy moving towards meeting the boundary of your body, let that beauty into the body. This flower that is so perfect, so radiant, so essentially what it is, so beautiful, is demonstrating to you the very nature of beauty itself. And in addition to viewing that with our eyes, going out to meet the flower where it is, we are allowing the flower, the beauty, to move into the self. And as you feel that, not only on the boundary of your being, but then starting to move into your physical being, you can feel the energy of that beauty and feel how good it feels to notice that energy inside. We are not solid. We are transparent to these things in their essential form, to beauty, to truth, to goodness, to light, to love, to life. These things don't exist just beyond us. They exist within us. And it's almost as if this perfect essential flower was a sun, but instead of radiating light and heat, it's radiating beauty. In the same way that when you stand in the sun, you feel the heat going into your body, and we know the ultraviolet light goes through the body. This flower, this perfect universal flower, is radiating its beauty into the body. And in the same way, like the sun, when we would feel the sun's heat inside of us, we would say, now I am hot. As we feel this sun, this flower radiating its beauty into us, we can say, now I am beauty. That beauty in its fundamental and essential nature can't be outside of us alone. It must be within us as well. So take a breath if you find any part of the mind or the body that wants to push back against that, of allowing beauty to be a truth of what you fundamentally are. Just take a breath and let those parts relax. Let them know that they're safe even though they're beautiful. To be beautiful is not dangerous. It is in fact the most safe thing. And as you can feel that beauty start to build inside of you, just as if you were standing in front of the sun and you got warmer and warmer and warmer and warmer, as you stand in front of this flower, let the beauty build and build and build and build inside of you. And if it's there, you might as well enjoy it. Allow yourself to be in the delight. allow it to feel good. Again, if there's any parts that are fighting against this, you can just revel in how sweet these parts are that want to reject things that are so fundamentally good for us. So cute, so precious. And just like a child that doesn't want to eat its vegetables, it's all okay. It's okay. As you feel that beauty building inside of you, now I'm going to invite you to, just like a flower, let it radiate off of you. In the same way that if you were in the sun, bringing in all that heat, the exterior of your body would eventually start to radiate heat. Going to do the same thing with beauty. Let yourself drink it in, be so full of what beauty fundamentally is that it must radiate off of you. And feel the space around you beginning to fill with beauty. As you breathe in, pull in that beauty from the flower in your mind's eye. As you exhale, radiate it out of your physical form into the space around you. For those of you who have been in past experiences where we've talked about working with our energy bodies, you all know that there are forms of energy that operate as bodies around us. So what I'm going to invite you to do is notice just the space 6 to 12 inches around your physical form. Let the beauty radiate into that space, but not go any further. Let it feel like it's filling that space just around the body. See if you can notice that energy palpably beyond your physical form. So the substance of the energy is in the energy body, but the radiance can radiate beyond the physical form and beyond the energetic form. Just like the illumination of the sun can be seen for millions of light years away. And just as if this perfected flower were in front of you, because of its nature, you would want to protect it. You would know that it deserves protecting. That this thing that is so fundamentally beautiful deserves to persist. The universe feels the same way about all things that are truly beautiful. And now that you have drawn within you that beauty, you too deserve protection. So that boundary of the energy body, 6 to 12 inches beyond where you are, I'm going to invite you to feel that as a definite boundary. And you can choose your favorite material, whether you see that as golden thread, whether you see that as a web of diamonds, whether you see that as the most vital and alive climbing vines. Whether you see it as the vast open sky, whatever it is that you love and adore, that you see as beautiful, see that now as the boundary on the outside of your energy. And you can affirm, I am in here, and the world is out there. And we can feel protected from all of the energies, all of the big feelings, all of the emotions, all of the intensity, the chaos in the world around us. Because we have created a boundary and filled that boundary with a fundamental energy of beauty. This is a practice you can do with any energy you would like to be experiencing more of. You can be in an exploration of what different energies feel like as you bring them into your being. In beauty's true nature, as being a creator, recognize that we have completed a creative act of creating boundary and protection of something that is so whole and vital and precious. Acknowledge that protection and just recognize that this is something you may need to revisit over the rest of the day, the following days, weeks, and months, depending on if this is a practice that you value. This is one way that we keep our inner self, our inner sanctum of self, clean and sanctified, dedicated to something beyond this physical manifestation of life. And we consecrate this physical manifestation of life through this practice. So now again in your mind's eye, you can let that most perfect and beautiful flower recede, release it back to where it comes from, let fade into that perfect screen of pure void, of pure empty space. We're going to add one more frequency to this feeling, this embodied feeling. And we're going to use a little trick of neurology to do it. So my invitation is that you gently smiled. And just notice that when you smile, the body wants to feel good. There's an association in your neurology that's baked in with between smiling and feeling good. For those of you who are experts at feeling good, you might even notice joy, true joy. So now, just notice what happens when joy and beauty meet together inside your being. It's fundamental qualities of joy and beauty. We're just going to rest in this experience, in this moment for just 30 to 60 seconds to see if you can get this joyous beauty everywhere in your being and in your field. And we'll offer just a little prayer to close off this practice. Our prayer is that all beings know beauty in its fundamental form. All beings experience themselves as beautiful in a direct contact, a direct gnosis, direct experiencing of themselves in that way. Our prayer is that humanity sees each other as fundamentally beautiful. Our prayer is that in the same way that nature has been an endless supply of beauty for humanity throughout time, that we return the favor and become beautiful to nature. Our prayer is that in any moment we know that beauty is available if we choose to look for it. Our prayer is that we know that beauty is protection, beauty is creation. Our prayer is that we see that our seeing is beautiful, our seeing is creative, and our creative act creates more of that which we choose to be. May the merit of this practice overflow from each of us individually, from this space, from this temple of wholeness, to all beings. May it nourish and benefit all that draw breath, all that have the vital spark in their body, whether they be human, plant, animal, or otherwise. And thank you to all of you for participating in this practice today. It's so lovely to be with you all. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. That was beautiful. So we love, this is for everybody both in the space and also who we have on Zoom here. We love to open up at the end here to invite voices in, and this can be an insight, a reflection, anything you would love to have heard and witnessed. We're here for it. Yes.
Well, you started out that, but posing the rhetorical question of what is beauty. So I found myself questioning that and used the example of a flower, visualizing flowers. Or we have a lot of flowers here. I live photographing them. What is it about a flower that's inherently beautiful, or a face or a place or anything? So there's not that I have the answer to it. One of the answers I found is symmetry.
Yeah.
And there's something generalizable about symmetry at any scale.
Yeah.
That evokes as part of what beauty is, but it makes me wonder what is, what it makes something,
Yeah. There will always be a component of form in beauty, right? And symmetry is a feature of form and how form expresses into space. So totally agree.
What else do you think of this?
I think ultimately it's that it's a transcendental, that it's a thing that exists beyond this place. It's a feature of reality just in the way consciousness is. So that the whole exercise is pulling on that fundamental thing that beauty is, that imbues anything that we generally appreciate as beautiful, but also recognizing that when that beauty is inside, it gives us the opportunity to see anything as beautiful. A flower, a rock, a stone, a person.
I was just in Washington, D.C. last week and for the cherry blossom.
So
cherry blossoms, it's incredible. People from all over the world.
Yeah.
Just come for those few days.
Yes.
And you hear every language.
Yeah.
You walk around and must hear 20 different languages, and people just come together for that few days in cherry blossoms.
So good.
And it's a great example of what everyone agreed, mostly anyone from the world.
Yeah.
Agrees that's beautiful.
Totally.
The Washington Monument and these monuments as a contrasting thing.
Totally.
They're completely human made.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around there, and then Yeah. Martin Luther King Memorial is right next to it.
Yeah.
Been there many times, but just the way that it's the way that it's formed.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that realization, Stuart, that, the monuments in a sense are a recognition that man works endlessly to try to create beauty that nature does effortlessly. So what a great gift that we might endeavor to be just as beautiful as nature.
Yes, indeed.
Just out of curiosity, can you hear people in the room as they're talking? Does that pick? Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Skylar?
One of the things that I appreciated in one of the recent codes that you did was the idea of gratitude, not being gratitude because of reactively, but gratitude being like a sovereign state. Like I am gratitude, not as about a certain, just as a I am.
Yeah.
Transcendental, connecting with that sense of I am gratitude. I'm not gratitude because.
Yeah.
And sort of the concept I got here with beauty was the idea of instead of beauty being, again, sort of a reactive experience, something being that which I, again, embody and emanate.
Yes. That's because
State, a sovereign state of myself as opposed to in reaction to.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah. And just like the gratitude and the beauty, when you are living as that frequency, you notice it everywhere. You notice infinite things to be grateful for because you're tuned to that state, just as with beauty. And then also, even things that might not be obvious that we could be grateful for or recognize as beauty, we do begin to invoke and draw it out because we are embodying that frequency. So we can inherently make things more beautiful by drawing out the inherent beauty within them and our ability to perceive it by vibrating first and foremost as it. Yeah.